This is Dick Morris, who worked for Bill and Hillary Clinton long ago on his first presidential campaign. And this is the best summary of the Russian dossier and Russian collusion in the last election between Hillary and Trump that I've seen. 5 minutes. It's well worth listening.
At last, the truth is coming out. It was Hillary Clinton's campaign and the Democratic National Committee that funneled money to Perkins Coie, a law firm, which then paid Fusion GPS to hire Christopher Steele to prepare the dossier that smeared Donald Trump. First of all, we have to understand this is vintage, typical Hillary Clinton. In the 1992 Clinton campaign, Hillary hired a law firm to hire private detectives to dig up dirt on women, usually untrue, to force them to not complain about Bill Clinton's sexual advances. She's up to the same trick. Here she got her campaign and the Democratic National Committee to hire a law firm that funneled money to a negative research firm that hired a British spy, former British intel agent, to dig up dirt on Donald Trump. Again, dirt that was completely fictitious. It raises all kinds of questions. First of all, obviously, Mueller and Comey Mueller, former director of the FBI and now special prosecutor, and Comey obviously had to know that this was paid for by Hillary Clinton's campaign. They would have found that out in the first 5 minutes of their investigations if they had been digging. Secondly, here we have a Democratic presidential candidate hiring, in effect, a foreign intelligence agent to smear her opponent in an election with phony information, with some degree of cooperation with the FBI. Now, of course, the degree of cooperation is what we now need to establish. Steele has said, the agent, that he didn't write the dossier. He said that he got it from unauthorized, unsolicited, anonymous sources. Well, who would know to send it to him? Who would know his address? Steele had a long, close relationship prior to this with the FBI that the Bureau has refused to disclose. And it raises the serious possibility that Hillary's campaign funded the amassing of a fictitious dossier based on material fed to the opposition research firm by intelligence agencies that might include the FBI, might possibly include MI6, the British agency that Steele used to work for. Now, all of this is stuff that we predicted and wrote about in our book, Rogue Spooks, particularly when Hillary began to use stuff from the dossier in her political campaign against Trump in 2016. And in it, we raise all of the questions that flow from that. And this completely validates what we wrote in this book, published 3 months ago. Now, as this opposition research firm, Fusion, and Christopher Steele developed this phony dossier, as it produced each report, it went to Hillary, who read it and used it in her debates and other confrontations with Trump, and went to the FBI. And the FBI offered Fusion and Steele $50,000 to continue the investigation and to reveal his sources and to authenticate the information in the dossier. So we have here the specter of the leading law enforcement agency in the United States cooperating with a negative research effort against a Republican presidential candidate funded by the Democratic presidential